So my suggestion, so you don't get distracted on this call about focusing, is to turn your view to speaker view if it isn't already. And we will start, and just make sure for me, unless it's Q&A at the end, that your mic is muted, okay? Here we go. Staying on task can be super difficult, right? I know all about that. And yet it doesn't have to be really difficult to focus. So that's why I am creating this for you today, this opportunity to be able to plug in and learn new skills and strategies, because we can't reach our highest potential if we can't focus. And we can't achieve really meaningful goals unless we can focus and really stay engaged. So if you are watching this replay, or if you're live, I want you to close any door that you need to so you're not distracted. Turn off notifications, maybe on your phone, silence it. Anything that you can do, tell the people around you, if you haven't yet, that you need this space just to dig into for 15 minutes so you can focus. What I'm going to cover is helping you understand where you're at on the productive scale. Where are you at in your ability to focus? And what are the specific seen or unseen distractions that are pulling you away from what you really want to be focused on, and what would make you feel accomplished, happy, fulfilled, however you want to feel. So let's talk about some of the seen distractions that typically you will read an article and you'll hear, well, turn off your phone, right? It's going to stop you from being able to focus. Or what about music? You got music playing and you can't focus. Other people around you in your life, your family, maybe work colleagues, those are things that are fairly easy to be able to remove from your space and be able to and increase your focus, right? But I work on a much deeper level with clients. And some of you here are already working with me. And so, when you want to find the solution, you often have to dig deeper into a problem or a challenge so that you can access solutions. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to look at some of the internal distractions that might be showing up in your life so that you can see where your opportunity is for growth. So some of the internal distractions that might make it really difficult for you to focus are things like worrisome thoughts or exhaustion. Exhaustion can make it really difficult for you to focus. Some other things are poor motivation. When you're feeling unmotivated, it's pretty easy to be distracted. And a big one is when you feel afraid of missing out. When you feel like, oh, I'm going to drop the ball, and so I need to disperse my energy and multitask. And research has proven that we can't multitask, efficiently, because we're not meant to. But some people have gotten really good at it because they don't want to miss out. They feel like they should be doing something else. Put your hand up if you ever have felt like I should be not doing what I'm doing, but doing something else. I'm going to use this light of mine here as an analogy. So we're like this lamp on my desk. We have the ability to focus our energy, and we have this spotlight. Wherever we focus, that's where our energy flows. If you try and spread your light out in a room, or like hop to different topics or tasks and spread yourself thin, naturally you're going to feel exhausted, but studies have proven that you will accomplish more when you stick to one thing. So, how do we stick to one thing? So, let's get into it. Let's get into some specific solutions that will help you push through distraction so that you can feel really great about your accomplishments. Before I do, I want to share something from my personal life that I'm sure many of you will relate to. I've had a book on the go that I've been writing for, or maybe procrastinating on for 4 years. Thankfully, actually, I'm not procrastinating on it now. But what has happened in the past is I've been distracted and I've been um, easily swayed from the very thing that I want to put out into the world. So now I've hired someone and the ball's really moving, and I've increased my ability to focus. And first, because I understood why I was putting it off. This is crucial. Crucial to you getting your ball moving forward and maintaining momentum with your focus and in your engagement is understanding, why am I putting things off? If you don't get that, you will continue to put things off and you won't give yourself the permission to focus on something that feels like a really big task or maybe daunting. So I understood, oh my goodness, I'm putting off this writing because I don't feel like it's really important for people to receive. And that was an embarrassing realization for me to come to land on, because of course it's important. The material that I have spent so much time and put so much love and energy into creating is transformational, and it's meant to be in others' hands. And I can't wait for you to read it. It'll be out in February. So there's so much benefit to you following through on where your heart is feeling led to focus on. And so for some of you, that might be maybe it's a professional accomplishment that was really meaningful for you. And you really know you need to focus your energy if you're going to accomplish that big task. Or maybe for some of you, it's learning a new skill. You want to make time to learn that old skill or a new skill, and you can't do it unless you stop being so distracted and learn to focus. So, focus is necessary to operating again at your peak performance in any area of your life. In marriage, in friendships, we can't really enjoy quality relationships unless we're fully engaged in the present and we know how to focus and not get distracted from the past or the future or even what we feel like we should be doing instead. So here are some steps. I've got 13, magical 13 steps to improve your focus and engagement. And the first one is to catch worrisome thoughts. So, just like when I was trying to understand, why am I eating so much sugar? First, the coach that I was working with asked me to keep a record of how I was feeling every time I went to reach for something sweet. And I noticed I was feeling anxious or bored. And that's another feeling that might be distracting you, is just pure boredom. And our brains are wired to solve problems and to stay productive. And so even the little tasks like checking social media or doing the dishes, they feel like your brain gets that good shot of hormone, and you get to feel good because you feel, quote, productive, but you're just busy. And there's a big difference between busy and productive. So catch the worrisome thought. Understand if you are feeling anxiety about something, worry about something, dis-ease about something, try and name what that is, because then you won't be resisting focusing on that, but you'll start engaging. You can move into it instead of away from it. Then second is to redirect to the best possible outcome. So your brain might be telling you, if I focus on that, X horrible thing is going to happen. But what if you redirected to, if I focus on this, X might not even happen. What if something wonderful results because I made time and I gave myself permission to play the guitar or spend time with a friend instead of just pushing through work and not giving yourself a break? Third is to focus for a set amount of time. So many studies that I've read about show us that short bursts of work, short bursts of focus and deep engagement are so much more effective at increasing your productivity than trying to push through a really big, daunting task for too long. I used to do that more often than I do now. I give myself so many breaks now, doing either exercise on my breaks or making a tea or a coffee or walking my dog or simply going to the beach and having a nice deep breath of the fresh air, whatever it is. When your brain gets that short break between 5 or 15 minutes, it's a really a mental reset. It's kind of the same thing as what sleep does for us, right? We regenerate and we restore. So you're not being a slacker. You're not being lazy, my friend. When you take a break, it's scientifically proven to help you focus better and accomplish more. The fourth is to give yourself permission to attend to what you're worried about after your focused period of time. So you can tell your brain, yeah, I'll get to that at 4 o'clock when I'm done this. And you can give yourself, even your brain, time to worry as well and compartmentalize a worry block for half an hour. If you really need to worry about something, give yourself permission to do that. But focus in a set amount of time and then address any concerns after that fact. Fifth is to put your past and your future away in a jar. So I learned this visualization technique years ago where I would notice that I was concerned about something or something was upsetting me and I really needed to focus. But those thoughts started to nag my brain. Ever felt that? Yeah, nagging thoughts. Okay. So we all have them, or we've dealt with them from time to time. What you can do is I literally have a stairwell down into a cellar in my mind. And there's a shelf in the cellar that has the old mason jars on it. And I put the worry in the mason jar and I screw the lid on, and everything's really dark down in that cellar. And then I walk back up the stairs into my real world. So if you want a visualization technique like that, something that's proven to be effective is if you want to be forgetting about something or you don't want to give it the time of day right now because you want to focus, make sure that your visual, your vision, the picture in your subconscious is dark. Because usually when we're feeling excitement or joy or energy or anticipation of something good, it's in vivid color. We smell the fresh oranges on the tree and we see the sparkle in our friend's eye, in our imagination, right? We see and we smell. We don't want to do that when we're visualizing this jar in the darkest corner of our cellar. Where are we? Number 6 is taking breaks. So whether it's even 2 minutes to step out on your veranda for a fresh breath of fresh air. Make sure that you're not telling yourself, I've got to focus for 2 straight hours and I'm not giving myself a break, even though my body is sore, I need to go to the washroom, and the dog is wanting my attention. 5 to 15-minute breaks. Number 7 is very simple and very powerful, and that's to stop and breathe. When you're feeling distracted, the simple act of stopping and breathing, doing some deep breath exercises. One of them is the square, where you breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and again and again. So do that as many cycles as you need in order to reset. It really helps. You can do it when you're feeling overwhelmed. You can do it when you're feeling distracted. You can do it when you're feeling unmotivated, to reconnect to yourself, reconnect to your goal, reconnect to why you're focusing in the first place, right? Number 8 is to sleep, rest, and relax more. So, you guys remember that your performance, your memory, and your productivity, they're all enhanced and improved when you're sleeping, relaxing, and resting. No joke. So many studies prove that our when we're taking in new material, learning new things, and usually we're doing a lot of that when we're focusing, right? We're accomplishing, we're digesting, we're learning new things. What happens is when we're sleeping, cat naps or nighttime sleeps, we regenerate and we reorganize that material in the brain. But the beautiful thing is, physiologically, we don't have to be involved in that process. Our brains do it for us. They're just so fabulous and so amazing. So trust that when you're taking a break and you're relaxing, it actually is enhancing your ability to focus. So the more sleep that you can get, the better. And that's different for everyone's ideal sleep requirements, right? Number 9 is find a calm location. So where can you work that's undisturbed, or what setting, outside, inside? This doesn't have to be even work related, depending on what you want to make more time for in your life. Where is that place that brings you calm? Or maybe even it's a place with people in it that make you feel calm, where you know you're not going to feel disturbed. Find that place. Number 10 is to communicate and speak up more about needing to be alone so that you can focus. Instead of trying to please others and make that your responsibility, or to make up stories that you're maybe a burden on others when you make time for yourself to focus. You're not. Please, I encourage you to stop making up stories if you're really connecting with this point that I'm sharing. When you are focusing in and you speak up and you communicate to others that you need that space, not only does it benefit you because you get to feel accomplished, calm, like you're making progress, happy, all those good things, then they get a better mom, they get a better sister, they get a better boss. They benefit too. Number 11 is to make a plan to address fear before it even happens. And this makes me feel so good when I'm teaching this point, when I'm working with clients on this point. And just side note, it's helped so many of my clients continue to make progress and focus on their goals because they're not distracted about what if that bad thing happens in the future, because they've worked with me to develop a plan for it. So what is your worst case scenario that you think might happen if you focused on the thing you'd really like to focus on that made you attend this training? Think about that worst case fear. Just bear with me just for like 10 seconds. And if something comes to mind, I want you to write it down. If something doesn't come to mind, you can still use this exercise for later. So I want you to imagine that bad thing did happen. So what could you do beforehand to that's in your control to make sure that it doesn't happen? What's still in your control between right now and when you're focusing in on the other thing to ensure that that bad thing doesn't happen? Could you talk to your family? Could you talk to your friends? Could you set up some boundaries? What is it that you could do that's within your control? And then if that bad thing happens, ask yourself, what can I do that's within my control now that the bad thing has happened? We're not planning for it to happen, but just in case it does, what's my plan B? So let's say, for example, you sat down and you gave yourself permission to focus on just enjoying life for a change. You put your feet up, maybe you went to the beach for a walk, maybe you went mountain biking, whatever it is for pure enjoyment. You take the day off work, the whole day, I don't know. But you're fearing that, well, when I do this, I'm going to lose money, or my business is going to go downhill, or so and so is going to call and they're going to need me right when I'm unavailable, because you plan to disconnect from your phone or something like that when you're enjoying. So then you could phone that person ahead of time and say, just so you know, I won't be available between this time and this time. I'm taking a total break. Or you could contact your clients or your customers and let them know that they're in good hands. If they need to reach out to anyone, so and so will be available for them, and you'll answer any messages you receive when you get back home. There's always an opportunity for a backup plan. Number 12, remind yourself of the goal. Remind yourself of why you're focusing in. Remind yourself of all the good that it will create in your life. And when you're reminding yourself of the goal, you can ask yourself, how does it cost me to choose to not focus? How does it cost me when I multitask? How does it cost me when I let other things be prioritized in front of what I really want to focus on? What kind of price am I paying when I don't focus? That's really good to get really brutally honest with yourself, because then you can see some traps and pitfalls that you regularly fall into, and you can make a plan so that you don't fall into them in the future. And you can see the opportunity before you, and it motivates you with a new passion to focus in. Remember, it's not your job to keep everyone happy, and that can be a real stumbling block and almost like hook for a lot of us. Is we think that I can't be unavailable focusing on something else because it's up to me to keep the ship stable. We can't be rocking the boat here. And that's just not the truth. There's no way that you can keep people happy 100% of the time, and it's not your responsibility. You're really overextending yourself when you do. Number 13 is to remind yourself that it's okay to be happy and to enjoy life. Sometimes I've noticed that I have avoided hard work in the past because I knew that that specific work, if I focused in on it and I really truly engaged my energy and all of my effort, that my life would explode with goodness. And I would be happier than I would have been before. And I actually resisted that expansion in the past, and I'm not doing that anymore. And I can tell you it's amazingly fabulous. So, as I close, I want to just share that this powerful fact that research indicates, and that's that when people tend to be overly busy and find it hard to focus and get easily distracted, it's often connected with feelings of importance. Like if I'm busy, I'm more important, I'm more valuable, I'm more needed. And it's sad because it's often kind of egged on by society as well, like this badge of honor that people wear when they're busy. But like I said before, busy is not the same as productive. So be careful. And if you find yourself easily distracted, you can also get to the root of the problem really easily by asking yourself, am I numbing myself from something? Like, is there something that I'm avoiding that's a painful feeling or a painful experience that's uncomfortable in my personal or my professional life? And if so, what could be at the root of me avoiding the very thing I want to be focusing on? So check in with yourself as we wrap up. What's the cost I'm paying by not focusing? And what opportunity is even greater than my wildest imagination that I could get to experience if I gave myself permission to focus? I have two opportunities, and they may be for you or they may not be for you. But if you're somebody who is just showing up for the free training, that is wonderful, and you're so welcome here, and I'm glad you're here. And please feel free to stay in this Facebook community because I will be coming in regularly, supporting you and offering trainings. And if you want more of my support, you can stay longer and you can hear about it now. I'm going to share with you what's available. So I have one space open for a private client that's interested in working with me for 4 weeks. And what we're going to do is, it's called Focused and Accomplished. So we're going to go deeper on this subject and help you focus in instead of avoiding the very things that would help you feel happy and successful moving forward over the next month into February. So this offer is available until Sunday evening only. I'm just having fun and I'm playing with this opportunity. It's an opportunity that I have opened up in my schedule for one person, and you would get my daily text support. You would get weekly 1-hour strategy calls. So we'd get a plan mapped out that has very clear steps for you to take to help you overcome distractions, get really focused, and help you feel very accomplished within the 4-week period, depending on what your goals are, right? Usually I work with clients who have goals that are quite daunting to them and feel impossible, but your goals might be quite small, and that's okay. We're not comparing goals here. So you get the 1-hour calls, 4 of them. You get the daily text support and all the check-ins that you need online with me. And then you get that plan mapped out. So we're strategizing and supporting you throughout the week. So the cost for that is $2,000. And it's a much lower rate than I'm currently offering, but I have one space available, and for fun, I wanted to offer it until Sunday night. So if you're interested, let me know and we'll hop on a call to see if it's the right option for you. And then the second option that I have is I've opened up a mentorship program. And some of you already know about that, and it's called Mountain Movers. And it's a monthly program. And right now I am offering it at $1,000 per month. And what you get is you get the weekly group calls. There's 3 of them. They're an hour and 15 minutes long. And you get the support and accountability that we all know is necessary for really big growth. You get that from the other members in the group. And there's some fantastic people in there, really cool leaders who will motivate you and inspire you. And then you get my support on the calls, and you get to pick my brain about anything related to creating that momentum in your professional and personal life so you can feel accomplished, so you can feel calm, so that you can feel happy and balanced and grounded. So I'm all about accomplishing big goals with ease, with fun, and with a sense of calmness. And then you get a private call with me every month. So that's where we'll track together and make sure that you're progressing on what you want to accomplish. And then you get my support on anything that is challenging, or you have the opportunity to be able to expedite your growth because of the hours of training and coaching that I have under my belt that you don't have to do. So I can save you a lot of time. So that mentorship opportunity is $1,000, like I said, per month. And if that's something that feels like, yes, that's totally for me, that's a good fit, then also please reach out and we can strategize together and see if that group is the best option for you, because it's not the best option for everyone. So let me know if you have any questions about either, or if you'd like time with me, and we can set that up. Now I want to open up some time. Let's see what time it is. I've got about 10 minutes left for Q&A, and I'll take the first questions that come in. So if you'd really like my support, attend these trainings live so that I can answer your questions. Otherwise, if you're watching the recording, you can still ask questions in the Facebook group, but it's not the same as getting my support here live. So feel free to unmute, and I'm all yours.
I gotta run, Amy. Thanks.
You're welcome. Nice to see you, Erin.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. And if you're all good for the day, then thanks so much for joining. I'll leave it for, say, 10 more seconds. And if you feel like you want to chime in with something that you're taking away, then I'd love to hear. That was fun. All right. Thanks for joining. Much love to you guys, and have an awesome Friday and an awesome weekend. We'll talk to you soon.